Hi viewers, you're watching ZMC Network. I'm your host Bia Khan. I welcome you in my show Coffee with Bia Khan. In my show, we will invite different guests to discuss on the different topics of the daily life, our daily life. And today in our studio, we have a very special guest, which is Mr. Zahid Chaudhry. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Zahid Chaudhry.
Thank
You
you.
all know Mr. Zahid Chaudhry is a very famous solicitor in the UK, and he is the chairman of ZMC Network. Welcome, Mr. Zahid Chaudhry, to our studio and especially in my show. Thank you very much for coming all the way and giving us time in from your very busy life.
Thank you, Bia Khan, for having me on your special show, and I feel very privileged to be a part of your this special show.
Thank you very much. So, how are you managing? My first thing to ask you is you're very busy solicitor and you have started all this network as well, ZMC network. So, how are you managing with the family, with your profession, and now with your this ZMC network activity or your it's what is this? It's what would you say
Yeah,
about it?
yeah. Uh, Mostly people ask me this question, how you are managing this one, and I always say, okay, look, if you have dream, try to pursue those dreams.
That's very good. Yeah.
And for that, obviously, you have to sacrifice for your some sort of your time and your other activities. And I am trying my best to have a kind of a balance between my profession, my family, and this network now. So when you plan, I always say this one: okay, when you want to do something in a multi-directional
Yeah.
way, then it is very important you always plan the things. When you
You're
plan,
right.
okay, look, like as I told you, I have planned now from 9 till 6 o'clock.
Mhm.
I'm always in my office or in court. So
Yeah.
during that time, I am fully involved in my professional things.
Okay.
And after 6
Mhm.
o'clock, I am involved in my this TV channel.
That's
And
great.
obviously, weekend I give time to my family, my kids. I take them
Which
out
is
for
very
movie.
important, obviously.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
important.
very important.
Yes, at the same time, you have to keep a balance.
Exactly.
If you will not keep a balance, then obviously there will be a trouble.
Definitely, definitely. I really appreciate Mr. Zahid Chaudhry that you are balancing everything. You are like managing everything. But don't you think that sometimes you really get tired and it affects your work somehow? Or how do you feel? How would you express your emotions and your mental strategy at that time, mental state at that time?
Yes, obviously we are human being,
Of course,
and
yeah.
our body is just like a machinery.
Yeah.
And obviously, if a machine works
Mm-hmm.
day and out, day and out, day and night, and obviously there will be some sort of a depreciation into that. And like other, I'm also a human being. Sometime obviously, and I believe that life is not a bed of roses.
Exactly,
It's
you're right.
ups and down,
Yeah,
ups and down.
yeah.
There will be a time when actually there will be a day when you are very energetic.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a day when you are down, when you are
Exactly.
emotional, and then obviously you have to do something to express your emotions.
Emotions.
Emotions. Yeah,
That's
that's
very
very.
very nice to know about this thing that you handle these things very nicely. But nowadays, if we see in overall in the world, if we talk about not only in the England, because everybody's just working after the work and one thing after another, they don't have even time for themselves, and this thing really put them in a very tiring position, which can lead towards the depression as well, which is a very common thing nowadays in everybody. If we talk about people, if we talk about men, if we talk about ladies, even now I have seen so many children in the teenage, they are going through these depression, and when you talk to them and you ask them what's your life going on, how's your life, and they simply say it's very busy, it's very busy. Why it's very busy? Like We know that when we were kids, we used to play, we used to do work, we used to do all the activities. It wasn't very busy at that time, but now it is busy because do you think that it's because of the social media at this time, that they are really busy at the social media at this time?
There are few factors, Bia Khan. Number one, what I always suggest to my students and even to my kids, I say, look, do the things which you really enjoy.
Exactly, yeah, right.
When you do the things which you don't enjoy, then what will happen? End of the day, you will get tired.
That's right. Very,
So,
very true. Yeah.
and the other thing is obviously now we have a very sort of a complex surroundings.
That's very
We have
right.
very complex surroundings, as
Yeah.
you rightly mentioned. Now we have social medias. Our kids they
Yeah.
have their exam stress,
It's a.
burden,
Mhm.
and on top of it, obviously the race.
Yeah.
Especially in our Asian communities, we always try to push our
Exactly.
kids. Look, you have to do this
This
subject,
subject, and
and
you
you
have
have
to
to
do.
get this grade, and
Yeah.
if you will not get these grades, and we will be not happy, and these other things. I think, as I say, number one thing, just let the kids do what they really enjoy to do that, and
Right.
then they will not depressed. They will enjoy it. They will not feel tired. And again, it's not only the kids. If as a human being, everyone, again, all social fabrics like in the
Mhm.
UK, in Pakistan, India, there are some basic differences.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
if we mold ourselves according to the social fabric of
Mhm.
our community, our surroundings, then obviously that will be very easy for us to have a very normal life.
Life. You're very right. As you just said, that we are surrounded at the moment in a very complex situation, and means I would rather say this thing as well, that at the moment we are living in an era which is completely surrounded with very modern means of communication, social media. We are all busy on the social media, and we are very proud of saying this thing, that I have got thousands of viewers, I've got millions of um, tweets and likes and all these things. But do we really have a real friend in the life? Do we really have a real shoulder to cry on in the life? No, we don't. That is the thing where people are going more and more into the depression. Every single person, if you talk nowadays, how are you? You will see something, they might say, we are fine, but they are going through the depression. What is depression? It's killing the people, it's killing the lives, it's killing the society. We should take a step towards this thing. We should take some real steps towards to kill this depression. Why we are here to discuss this thing, okay? We need to get some time out of these fake modern means of communication. We should have some time to communicate with each other, even if we say, okay, fine, 5 minutes, that will lessen the communication gap with the parents, with the teachers, with any of your tutors, elder brother, younger brother, sisters, anybody, your best friends. Discuss something. Discuss whatever is buried inside you. Discuss it before it buries you. So that's the today's main topic is depression.
Yeah,
What do you say,
y-
Mr. Chaudhary, about the depression?
yeah, I think you rightly said what is a main, I think, is a main root cause is that the human touch is missing now.
Exactly. Very, very well
But
you said.
it's,
Very
it's,
well
it's
you
human
said.
touch. As you said, we may have millions of viewers, we have millions of likes, we have
Exactly.
millions of friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But actually, the important thing, as you rightly said, okay, do we have any shoulder to cry on?
Exactly. And we
That's the
don't.
hundred
Yeah.
million dollar question. I remember when we were kids. So in the morning, mom used to sit there
Mm-hmm.
along with that serving places where you got a chula,
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
all
that's
the
right.
brother and sisters, they were circling around, and they were even discussing, okay, how are you going school? Classes
How's
were
going?
different. How is
Exactly.
going
Yeah.
different? What have you done your homework? Mom used to ask us, okay, let me see your uniform. So that's the human interaction. So it is extremely, extremely. Now what happened, like in our office, what we do, we come in offices, we do our work, and then we pack up our
Exactly. Yeah.
laptop
And
and
then
other
we
means,
leave.
and then
Yeah.
we leave. We don't have human interaction.
You're
I
right.
have to ask this question to myself, am I communicating with my colleagues?
Right.
Am I
Yeah.
communicating to my kids? Am I communicating to my partner? Am I communicating to my friends? That is very important. And you rightly said that what is a depression? Obviously, you will explain better into that. But I, in a very sort of a common language, I will simply say, okay, when you don't express yourself,
Yeah. You're right.
whatever is going on in your mind, if you don't discuss, that will make you depressed,
Exactly.
stress,
Yeah.
and that also make you feel tired. Like for example, if a college going, a university going daughter want to say something to mother,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason mother is not there, busy in other life, other things to do,
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
simply, or that child is feeling shy or some other stigmas,
Mm-hmm.
taboos, not talking.
Yeah.
What will happen? That girl will actually indulge herself into a depression.
Depression. That's
So
right.
that is
Absolutely.
very
Yeah.
important, that we must speak out.
We must speak out, and we should know that okay, there is somebody who can listen to us. There is someone out there who can have at least 5 minutes for us, and we all should try to do this thing. Okay, if somebody wants to try to talk, listen. And especially if somebody is not talking to you or not trying to express whatever they are feeling about themselves or about anything else inside them, just try to notice these things instead of just putting those emojis like a happy emoji and there's a sad emoji and there is a wow emoji. No, just try to see what exactly that other person is going through. Is there something you notice in with your colleague? They are not talking much, they are not socializing with you. Okay, previously they were, but now they are trying to isolate themselves. There could be some reason behind it. Ask them, maybe there is some problem at their home, maybe there is some problem at your workplace, maybe something going wrong with their kids, and they are not happy, they are not willing to share with everybody. Try to get that confidence so that they can share those things with you. Now, very common symptoms of the depression, like if you say that how would we know that somebody in our office is going through a depression, there are few very common symptoms which if we note not only for the office workplace, for your house, for your school, for your student tuition centers, anywhere you go, see the things like maybe somebody's doing something continuously wrong and they are capable of doing the things right way, but at the moment they are not doing it. It means they are not focusing on their work. They need to
Yeah,
focus.
Rabbi, that's very important. I think with, what I will say, this is actually a very sort of important part of your program.
Thank you.
Although we are not expert in that field,
Exactly,
but we
exactly.
are
We are not
simply
doctors.
obviously
Yeah.
say, okay, if someone having the kind of a symptom must seek medical help, but
Yeah.
general symptoms which you are telling, we should know this one.
We
At
should
least
know, exactly.
we should know this one. So so you were telling, yeah, if some person we know this one, yeah, he or she is capable of doing really good thing,
Good.
and all of sudden start messing up the things,
Exactly, or
not doing
making
the
too
wrong
much mistakes or not
mistakes.
focusing.
So-
Definitely try to take that person out. Try to know why is that happening. Why is that? Maybe at the first time the person says, no, I'm fine, it's just happening now. Maybe the second time, but try in a lighter way, in a lighter mood. Maybe you get something out. The same thing I would say to the parents. If the kids come home from the from the school, college, uni, see their behavior. Don't say them directly on their face, but see their behavior. If they are very quiet, if they are not socializing with the other kids, with the other siblings at home, if they are not listening to you, or they are showing some like harsh behavior towards a parent sometime, it's not always that we start saying that okay, you're not behaving and you're not you should be respectful towards your parents. No, there could be some reason. There might be something in the school which is bothering them and they are not feeling easy enough towards you to open up. See why. The more quickly, the sooner you see, the sooner you get the root, the sooner you will be able to get rid of this thing from their kids' life. So listen to them, make a habit at the dinner time, at the night time, get them together. Is there anything? They will discuss. If you see one of them is not going through properly, not telling you properly, separately, privately, ask them something. They will definitely tell you something, not at the first time, maybe at the second time. Maybe they are getting bullied in the school. Maybe they have done something wrong in the school and now they are feeling guilty about that thing. So there could be millions of reasons about this thing. See if they are not sleeping properly.
Yeah.
See if they are not eating properly. Especially see if they are sleeping. If they are not sleeping properly, it means not only less sleep, it could be more sleep as well. They are sleeping all day. Why? They are avoiding something. They are trying to hide themselves. Check them. They are the mood swings. 1 second they are all okay, and the moment they start thinking something in their head, they might start feeling totally lonely and they want to isolate themselves. Check these things. Don't ask them straight away, but keep noticing these points and then try to communicate. Communication is a very, very big thing, I would say. It's a very big thing that wherever it comes as a communication gap in between families, in between parent and children, in between husband and wife, in between your colleagues, there is always a problem. So
Yeah,
try to communicate with
yeah,
them.
this is which we in the beginning of our show we said that we must take the things out of our chest and we must communicate. We must communicate because in my practice and in my practical life, I noticed this one. When we communicate, most of our problem which bother us, we can resolve them through communication, through conveying
Yeah.
each other. Yes, you were saying something. What else? Yeah, these
It
are very
can
important. Yeah.
very important these things.
Yeah.
Sometime like in a society where we are sitting at the moment in UK, so you could see some people they can become very alcoholic. So you can see this side as well, that why are they on the drugs? Drugs are maybe there for a little bit time, for like few seconds or few moments or maybe a half day or few hours. They can give them a rest. They can it's not something, it's not a cure. This is what they are trying to hide themselves away. This is not a cure. It's like if you have a headache, you just get paracetamol. That is not a cure. It's just numbing your pain for the time being. But you should go for the proper cure. There are the like a medical symptoms. If we say that depression overall is a general depression, you can sort it out at the domestic level, at the friendly level, or if it goes more, if it's persistent, more it goes on, then it's better to get some medical help, because it's not something that we just say, oh no, that person is just showing off, or that person is just more like a attention seeker
Seekers
or
yeah.
something like that, or just doing a drama. No, these things, we should take these things seriously. We shouldn't make fun of those people who are trying to tell us by their emotions that they are going through
You
something wrong.
rightly said, Bia Khan. Number one, obviously, sometimes we take these things very lightly, or we think like if, like, suppose I'm going through some kind of these symptom, so I feel a bit like, oh yeah, it may be taboo if I will discuss with my
Exactly.
colleagues, with my siblings, or with someone. They may think bad about me.
Exactly.
So I think this is very important. Why it is important? If you will see the recent surveys now, even our school going kids, they are having mental health
Mental
issues.
health issue. Exactly. The anxiety and emotionally very vulnerable. You
Yes.
talk to them, what happened, and they will just burst into the tears.
Yes. Yes.
Why is that? What is going on in our society that they are not happy kids anymore? Same thing is with the ladies, and I would say, yeah, ladies are more vulnerable in this point of view, that they get more into the depression, but we shouldn't forget about the men.
Mm.
They are in that condition as well, but maybe the ladies, they can express themselves, but somewhere men, they don't, because they think we are men, we
Yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah.
cry in front of somebody,
So,
we
yeah.
shouldn't say it out.
Yeah.
But then it can take, one thing is confirmed, that if you don't take care of this depression at the start, it can lead towards the nervous breakdown as well, which
Yes,
is
if you will
very,
see,
very
that's
dangerous.
very important, especially with the point which you raised, that the men,
Yeah.
men sometimes they feel like that.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
I have to pretend myself that I'm very strong. These things do not affect me. But look, the complexity of a man life.
Yeah.
He has to look after the kids. He has to
No doubt.
worried
No
about
doubt, yeah.
a workplace. He has to think. I have to. Because I'm a breadwinner.
Exactly,
Earner,
yeah.
so I have to earn something for my family. I have to do this. I have to do that. Once a man came out of the house in the morning, there are millions of things going on around his head.
That's
So
right.
there's some time, obviously, if you will not give a space to those thoughts to come out, so don't think that, oh, you are a man and oh, you have to pretend that you are okay. As you rightly said from outset, like, look, when we ask this one, "Okay, how are you?" Simply, no, this is very common phrase now, I'm okay.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
after that, there is no linkage between your conversation. Okay, how you, what you doing, how you surviving, what. So that is very important.
That is
frankly
very,
speaking.
very
Yeah.
important thing.
Yeah.
And in the ladies, no doubt, there are
Hmm.
so many other
So many other
kinds
kinds,
of depression as well. I have seen so many ladies after the kids, especially, or
Yeah.
during their pregnancies,
Mm.
they go through these emotional disorders. And if the people, they don't know, and especially if I talk about our countries, like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, these countries, they just take it like, okay, she's just trying to avoid the work at the moment. No,
Yeah.
it's not like that. In these countries, in the UK, in States, in these countries, they take it really seriously about these things. They will tell you, okay, go and take some exercise classes, go and discuss with your midwife, go outside, go for some dine out, these things, because these things, this is the time when you have a baby, and normally this time is known as baby blues.
Yeah.
But baby blues is only for a very limited time, for maybe 2 weeks or so. But if it persistent, if the lady is still getting really irritated and depressed and emotional, and she's bursting into tears again and again, then it's
I think, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think that is very important. We will do these programs again in our own language, Urdu or Punjabi or something.
Definitely, yeah,
so
definitely.
that we can
Convey our message,
this
exactly.
message. What happened in our country, as you rightly said, when these things happen, in our villages, and the जिनचे मर गए ने,
एग्जैक्टली और ये ड्रामे कर रही
ड्रामे
है
कर रही है।
और
You-
इसको काम नहीं करना इसलिए ये सब
So
करे, बट नो दीज
instead
थिंग्स
of taking some legal, some medical,
Medical, yeah.
sport, we are taking to some Peer Sahib and we taking to
Exactly.
some Mazar, and we said we should do this. So that is why is that? Because of lacking of information.
Information,
And
exactly.
I think I really appreciate Bia Khan that you
Thank you.
put up this topic today. As I said, obviously, because ZMC are trying to convey more and more information to
exactly.
our wider viewers. So we will do these programs in Urdu and Punjabi,
Definitely,
and
yeah.
even in a Bangladeshi
In
language.
Bangladeshi
So in
language.
all languages, we have a talented presenter like you. So
Thank
hopefully,
you.
hopefully that. But obviously, that taboos like this kind of a thing. So look, most of these things, when especially the woman say, that is actually a stress
It
disorder.
is. It's a stress. It's the hormonal changes. We don't understand these things. If you cannot go to the medical side, just
Yeah.
at least try to get somebody emotional support.
Sport,
Because
yeah.
at that point, they really, really need this thing.
Mm.
They really need this thing. Maybe they can get over with this thing with only your emotional support. If not, then it's better to take them to the medical side, take them to the GP or some psychiatrist. It's nothing to do like if you go to the psychiatrist, people will start saying, "Oh, it's a mental case." No, it's not a mental case.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just to go for like for your physical problems, you will go to the GP, and for the mental stress, you will go to the psychiatrist. It's nothing to do with this thing that okay, you are going to go mad or some mental thing or somebody's going like going to be like पागल हो गया है ये तो जी इस
क्या हो
ये
गया जी?
मेंटल हॉस्पिटल में जा रहा है ये पागल हो no it's nothing like that you should see these things okay there are like some people go for hakim some people go for homeopathy so it's allopathy and that is something to do with your mental emotional life which is very important if your emotional life is stressed up everything is mess up
Yeah.
so you should see these things
Yeah, one thing which I say, obviously, if you will see that in our country, like in a developing country, there are lack of facilities. Like here we are in a UK now. Here you can see this one. There are so many counseling facilities are
exactly yeah
available.
yeah
Why these facilities are not available in our countries?
our countries
So that is also a responsibility of government to
definitely
take these matters as I believe that a healthy mind can only the healthy mind can build up a very strong and prosperous society. If
That's
your
right, yeah.
mind is not healthy, you will only producing sick people.
Exactly, that's right. That's right. That is now again, if we talk about these things, if some people they go to the psychiatrist sometime, but I have seen so many cases that when the psychiatrist just will say, "Okay, stay away from the thing, whatever is putting you in the depression." I'm totally against this thing. It's in my opinion, I would say no. Rather, go and face that thing go if you're going away from that thing if you're isolating yourself and going into some other group or some other things or some other activities it doesn't mean that that thing is finished or that thing is cured no you should face that thing you should have energy discuss that thing communication gap don't let it happen discuss that thing maybe that thing is better than avoiding something yeah that's fine they put you on the drugs the drugs means those medicines which
Medicines,
make you sleep for so many hours that's not good if you are sleeping the moment you wake up all these things are again in your head maybe this as a, like psychologically or they would be affecting your energy and they are doing some good but if as a lay person I'm not a doctor I'm not a psychiatrist if I see they're just putting you they're just numbing your pain they're not curing we need cure the society need cure from the depression we need to talk with each other now they say okay have some space now what is that space I never know I never heard this word have some space or this is my space respect this space these are very very like modern phrases nowadays but I never heard these things in my childhood in my young age and even until now
Yeah.
but in these countries these are very modern phrases what is space no you don't need a space you need to interact somebody if there is a gap if there is a space you're not going to do any good after the space then what nothing it's just like those psychiatrist pills and psychiatrist drugs which are putting you into a deep sleep after that same again so instead of having your space it's better to interact it's better to communicate with the people it's better to communicate with your husband with your wife with your parents with your kids or with anyone you're having that problem you're going into the depression because of them try to communicate if there is too much then try to communicate with others instead of having that space and isolate yourself. No, it's not going to do any good with you. So what do you say, Mr. Chaudhary,
Yeah,
about this
it's
space and communication
rightly you
gap?
said. Look, Thomas Hobbes, John Rousseau, these are social scientists. They always say that man, a human, is actually a
Social animal.
social animal.
That's
What
right.
this mean? This mean that you have to interact.
Interact.
With each other.
That is a very good point you just raised. That exactly. That
Yeah.
what is where then this space came from?
Yeah.
There, it's just a modern phrase. It's just like you can say like delicacy instead of the food in your emotions, in your lives. Okay, I'm having my space. No, what is that space? No, you have to interact with the human being instead of your tablet, instead of your laptop, and instead of your iPhones all the times and stuff. No, interact with the real people instead of the fake people. Go talk to them. If you need, cry. You will cry, you will feel better. So if you hide your tears, you're not gonna feel better. At the end, it's gonna affect your brain. At the end, you're gonna um, have a brain hemorrhage or something like that. So it's better to talk about these things.
Yeah, this is very important also. Sometimes people think that it's bad to cry.
Yeah.
But it is sometimes it's good.
It's good, exactly.
Yeah, because these tears will take all the pressures out of you, and you will feel. Indeed, you will feel lighter after
Exactly.
crying. Yeah.
The more you go into the depression, it can lead you towards like hopeless situation. You might think everything like going in your life, going through, and you are going through in your life is like negative. No, everything can't be negative. If you trust yourself, you trust whatever religion you are, keep faith in your religion. If you are Muslim, if you are Christian, if you are Punjabi or whatever you are, keep faith in your religion. Religion will always take you to the right path. Go and seek the help from the religion, from the medical centers, from your people, from your friends. Try to do these things, but these things are like when you feel like hopeless. Okay, everything is finished in my life, I better die. No, there is nothing. Your life is not that worthless that you die for no reason or for something which is not that important for anybody else even. You will die, what will happen? Other people will discuss you for a few days. That's it. What will happen to you? Nothing. But you should think about your children, your parents, your family, everything about your society. That's the moment. It's a very big feeling, it's a very big thought of the suicidal thought in the depression. But I'm telling you, it's just a single split second.
Yes.
You get out of that feeling and you are all out of that suicidal thoughts. So you need that second to discuss with somebody. If somebody is with you, engaging you with some sort of activity, with some sort of talk, with anything, then you might get out of that split second and you will not think about that suicide. But if you're alone, if you're isolated, if you're enjoying your space at that moment, you might commit that suicide. So it's better to interact with the people instead of going alone or instead of just keeping quiet and going numb. Feel the emotions and interact with the other people.
Yeah.
What do you say,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Chaudhary,
think
about this
it's a
thing?
very interesting program and a very interesting topic. Is always obviously a shortage of time,
Yeah.
and hopefully this is a very sort of a complex topics, and
Exactly.
we can't complete all the discussion in a one go. So hope that you will bring another program
Definitely,
and we'll discuss
yeah.
the issues like that with your different guests. That is a beauty of Coffee with Bia Khan, that this program
Thank
will
you.
actually interact with the people from different walk of life. So in a very lighter mode, this today
Yeah.
is topic obviously because that is affecting our life, our society,
Yeah.
our kids, our women, our daughters. So it is very important.
Very important.
We must discuss. That's the gist of today's program. We must discuss the thing. We must not think that these are taboos. So thank
Exactly.
you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chaudhary, that you came into my show. You have given us lots of your opinions on different topics and everything, all these topics. Thank you very much, viewers, for listening to us and discussing these. You must be watching this show now. Please give us your opinions. Go to our online websites and give us your opinion. What do you think about the depression? And keep watching us. Subscribe our channel, ZMC Network, and Coffee with Bia Khan. Thank you very much.